Help may be on the way for combat soldiers back from action and dealing with life-threatening mental health issues.
So many devices to choose from, but which ones hold their charge the best? When it comes to your cell phone, we have new test results. And the inspection results are back for eateries in the Valley. What they have to say in tonight's Restaurant Report Card.
Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online and on the go. This is Valley News Live 10 at 10.
A shocking number of suicides among veterans and a call finally answered. Good evening, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. It's what veterans groups have been fighting for. And after years, a step in the right direction to reduce the alarming number of suicides after combat. Now, it's estimated that about 22 service members take their lives each day.
And now a bill sponsored by both North Dakota and Minnesota lawmakers is on its way to President Obama's desk that they hope will reduce that number. Valley News Team's Krista Boehm takes a look at why and how the bill could help.
One veteran nearly every hour of the day ends their own life.
It does not surprise me.
It's been an unanswered problem for years.
It means that we did not do a good job when he came back to the States.
Les Bakke is talking about Vietnam veterans, one himself, but never on the ground, still with plenty of stories he remembers.
For instance, the VFWs and the American Legion clubs did not want the Vietnam veterans when they came back. And the biggest reason is because you lost.
Soldiers who came back completely and forever changed. And with the number of suicides among soldiers rising.
Anything we can do will help. I think it's a little late.
But it may not be too late for a new generation of soldiers coming home from Iraq and Afghanistan with PTSD.
We used to kind of think of PTSD as more of a psychiatric condition, but I think that we've come to understand that PTSD, if it's severe, if it's chronic, can literally change the structure of certain parts of the brain.
A group the bill may be aimed to help, calling for a more modern approach, a one-stop shop website specifically for mental health services to help what Dr. Rod Swenson says is a group of soldiers unlike any other.
A lot of the people that are getting blast injuries in the wars, the recent wars in Iraq and Afghanistan, are also coming back with a higher incidence of PTSD. It's almost as if the brain injuries make it harder to recover from the PTSD and vice versa.
A combination that only makes treatment harder. And yet another reason veterans groups have been fighting for a bill that's only a start. Krista Boehm, Valley News Live.
The bill also calls for an evaluation of all VA mental health care and suicide prevention practices to determine what is and what is not working. It would also address a shortage of mental health experts, allowing the VA to recruit them through a student loan repayment program.
Tonight, we now know the names of the people involved in a fatal car crash on I-94 yesterday morning. Ashley Burkle told authorities she fell asleep and her vehicle crossed the median, striking an oncoming truck. Well, the driver of that truck, David Harold, died at the scene. Burkle and Matthew Schroeder, who was the passenger in the truck, were taken to a Jamestown hospital with what was described as non-life-threatening injuries.
A college student ready to take on the world to pursue his dreams was cut short. Tom Bierson was an NDSU student who was only away from his home for a month before he was murdered. His family spoke out for the first time about their son's mysterious death. Tom Bierson was last seen at a house in North Fargo last fall. For 3 days, authorities, friends, and family members searched for him. His father says it was a very difficult 3 days. Bierson's body was discovered at an RV sales park in Moorhead. The Ramsey County Medical Examiner's Office continues to investigate this case. Toxicology tests can take up to 6 months.
It's a lot easier if you picture that, like, where he is now is better and, like, no one's gonna hurt him there.
Tom's family is planning to honor his life with a memorial in Sartell. There's much more to hear from family members. Go to our website, valleynewslive.com, for that story.
Fargo City Commissioners have approved a new riverfront master plan. It details development along the Red River from Mickelson Field to Dyke East. Now, there are 4 concepts that offer different ideas about a new city hall, convention center, hotels, residential housing, parking ramps, bike trails, and skyways from the riverfront to Broadway. Now, the architect in this situation, Richard Moorhead, says permanent flood protection is underway downtown, and the city has a one-moment-in-time opportunity to get this done.
Valley News Live 10 at 10 continues with North Dakota lawmakers wanting harsher punishment for those that share explicit pictures of a person that did not give consent. The bipartisan bill addresses revenge porn, which is commonly naked pictures shared by a person on digital media, then distributed by an ex-partner with the intention to shame or embarrass the person pictured. Fargo police say it's very difficult to bring criminal charges against a person you willingly share the pictures with. Currently, there's no punishment for revenge porn.
And one lapse in judgment by an individual in love shouldn't result in a lifetime of harmed feelings. These pictures, when they get out, they can be absolutely devastating to someone.
If passed, a person who shares an explicit picture could receive a misdemeanor charge as well as be sued by the victim.
A massive manhunt continues for a man who exchanged gunfire with police at a St. Louis Park, Minnesota business this morning. Police continue to search for 41-year-old David Michael Winters. The incident started at Indelco Plastics. After gunfire was exchanged, Winters drove away. Police later surrounded a grocery store and got employees and customers out of the building. If you need help uncovering fraud or corruption in your community, call our whistleblower hotline 701-237-6576 and leave your tip.
Well, folks like to eat out, and it's nice to know which restaurants offer a clean plate, and we've got your back.
Valley News Team's Christina Craig was in Grand Forks today and has the dish on which restaurants don't have a clean slate and which one wins the clean plate.
Our first stop is at Brick and Barley along 3rd Street in Grand Forks. Let's head inside. In the most recent health inspection report, they were cited 5 total violations. 4 were critical. Inspectors found employees weren't wearing any gloves and handling ready-to-eat food. They also found items in the prep cooler were not date marked. There was food buildup on some cutting boards, and bleach concentrate used as sanitizer was way too strong.
Obviously, those were important mistakes, some oversights on our part. Made sure that we've corrected the ratio of bleach in our last rinse sanitation for our plates. Inspectors say all violations were fixed on the spot and then some. Next stop, Lowell Coffee and Restaurant, also known as Juba's. They were slapped with 15 violations, 6 critical. Among them, food was undercooked, utensils were not properly washed, and there was no manager with food safe certification. That's something most restaurants have. I tried to speak to management, but they shut their doors on our camera.
I would not either.
Juba's is on Jarrell Thompson's work route. He passes the storefront weekly. Showing him the health report, I asked if he would grab a bite there.
I mean, who would want to go to a place that wasn't, as clean as it could be?
Our last stop is at Panda Buffet along Columbia Road. They were cited with 3 critical and 5 non-critical violations. Among the critical, keeping a fly strip in the food prep area.
We basically clean every day, every few hours. You gotta keep everything clean. With the machine being like 12 years old, some part is really hard to clean.
Management says most of the violations have been corrected, including the purchase of a new ice machine to better ensure the safety of their customers. In Grand Forks, Christina Craig, Valley News Live.
Now, if you're looking for a sweet treat, Woodman's Candy Shop in Grand Forks, they win our Clean Plate Award. They had 0 marks against them on the last health inspection.
Valley News Live 10 at 10 continues with No Wait Weather.
An ice sculptor had his dream of a world record come crashing down. We do have some video of this. Maybe we can go to it. Take a look at this. Lake Superior Ice Project.
Oh.
Woo! It was being built by sculptor Roger Hansen, was to be 65 feet tall on Superior, but warm weather led to the collapse. That's what city officials say. But the sculptor is determined to make plans to beat that record next year.
I'm guessing it's about 6.5 feet at the most right now.
It's been a tough year
Yeah.
with regards to ice. We've seen problems on area lakes as well. So just be careful with it. Even though we're plunging downward again, it's just difficult out there. Here's a look at what we have going on across the North American continent. Look at the very chilly air up there in northern Canada. I mean, it's cold, 20 to 36 below up there. And you know what? We have very little snowpack on the ground here in the upper Midwest, and because of that, we're not cooling down as much as we typically would. But we do have northwest winds, and some of this cold air is heading our way tonight. Right now, though, quiet conditions. We've had flurries on again, off again throughout your evening. It's 12 on the thermometer, calm winds. 12 is what it feels like outdoors. With dew points down in the single digits, we're going to continue to see these temperatures very slowly succumb to the single digits. Right now, Lakes Country, 10, Detroit Lakes 9, Grand Forks, and 5 in Devils Lake. And out to the east, we have Wadena at 9 and Bemidji at 7. Factor in the winds out there. We do have wind chills, especially up north in the single digits, but the wind is expected to increase, and wind chill will be a factor in your forecast. Still a few light flurries north of Fargo-Moorhead moving along the I-29 corridor. They're all drifting south and east in that upper level wind. Things really starting to quiet down, though, substantially. This light blue color here really just means more or less ice crystals or just a few light flakes. Little additional accumulation measured at just over 1/2 inch here in South Fargo. Big Stone and a few down on portions of northeast South Dakota and west central Minnesota. Snow reports today were heaviest down to the south and west, where we did get a few reports of 2 to 4 inches just south of Lidgerwood. Thanks to our Facebook friends for reporting there. It's 16 in Minneapolis, a lot of heavy snow moving into Nebraska, and the cold air is diving into the northern plains. So here's what happens overnight tonight: partly cloudy skies to mostly clear skies, and sub-zero readings across most of the region. Maybe Fergus Falls and our most southern counties near Wheaton and Sisseton will have a chance at holding temperatures above zero. Otherwise, your start your day readings will be below zero, and factor in these winds gusting to 20 miles per hour. It's going to bite them earlobes. Well, more than what do you call those furry animals? Punxsutawney Phils. All right, 4 below in Baudette, 0 in Bemidji for the midday hour. Notice this, those single-digit readings continue with winds gusting to 25 miles per hour. It's going to be a blustery day, to say the least, with some blowing and drifting causing those roads to continue to be quite icy in our southern counties that did receive snow. Tomorrow night, thanks to clear skies and quieting winds, temperatures fall dramatically quick, but notice a shift in wind direction. Coming from the warm southerly direction, by Thursday, we'll start to see a rebound in temperatures. Tonight, wind chill advisory across the most northern tier of counties north of Grand Forks, and here's your planning forecast. Single-digit readings for almost everywhere at 5 o'clock, with wind chills well below zero, around 15 to 20 below throughout the afternoon. Winds gusting to 25 miles per hour, single-digit readings on thermometers in your cars. Above and below zero by just a few degrees in the Northland. That includes all the way out through the Devil's Lake Basin. Maddock, 1 degree at 5 o'clock, and a blustery day indeed, with a rebound in temperatures on Thursday. Take a look at the beautiful colors Joanne shared with us of Fergus Falls. Gorgeous sunsets of late, and here is a look at your planning forecast. Temperatures on Thursday rebound to 25, and it does get better on Friday, but we will introduce a chance of snow. Now, we are watching the weekend forecast. If you have plans for travel at all, do be aware that we could have some significant accumulations of snow between Saturday and Monday across the valley. 4-6 inches, not out of the question. So gas up the snow blowers, find the shovels, and we'll keep you informed on exactly where the track of the storm is, because the models have been wavering a little bit up to now.
You always do.
Yes.
Thanks. Still ahead tonight, the big push by the president to get all children vaccinated against measles.
Up next, the charging devices that will leave no cell phone uncharged.